Welcome to Glide Rap Channel.
Sultan, how are you?
We're good. Let's do a meeting.
Congrats, Joe.
Yeah. Is that Taylor? Actually, do it. She's in the leg back. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Stand right back, guys. Thanks. Okay, we'll just get everyone to move back. Just get everyone to move back a little bit, and I'm just waiting for David Higgins as well. So if you just move back.
Well done, I've shown for you, I tried. Did you lose my fucking voice? Oh, sorry. Beg your pardon, I lost my voice. Well done. Good man.
Yep, bring them on. I'm going to have to ask everyone if you could just move back. There's quite a few media who want to get in, please. Just waiting for Duncan Johnson. He's not far away. Patrick here? Ah, there. This David. David.
Alan?
Yep.
Can we move in the centre of the flag? Centre of the flag.
Can you come up to the flag, please, Rod? Can you shuffle a little bit? Yeah. Okay, so this is the only media that we'll do tonight. We have David Higgins, our promoter from Duco Events, Joseph Parker, Kevin Barry. Far away.
So it was really tight there. Did you feel like you had it?
Yeah, I felt I had it. I felt I put on the pressure and landed the bigger shots. And he ran for the whole 12 rounds, so I felt I won and won well.
Yeah, your face is hardly marked. Do you feel like he just wasn't aggressive enough?
Who, him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel that he, like I said, coming into the fight, he's awkward. He moves very well. He uses the ring quite well, so it was just hard to sort of corner him and catch him. But I know I did rock him a few times, but I give him credit for his movement. It was good.
Frustrating not to get the knockout? Sorry.
No, I was trying for the knockout. Maybe I tried too hard, but I guess there's a lot to work on. We're going to absorb this victory, celebrate with the team, and there's a lot to work on going back into or setting up the next fights. I'm going to go back to the gym. Kev's going to teach me more things, and it's just about learning, getting more experience, and improving all the time.
The knockout was the goal the whole time. I mean, are you a bit concerned that you might have done a little bit of damage? You wanted to make a really spectacular fight here.
I wanted to get the knockout, but it's, in boxing, things happen, and things might not go the way you want it. So it's just about, like I said, improving, getting better. But I think next time I'll get the knockout. Who knows?
So you talked about targeting the body a lot. Do you feel like you strayed away from that game plan?
Yeah, I think I sort of needed to punch the body more. Just his awkward style, it's just trying to put on the pressure and chase him down. But I said, again, I said credit to him for his movement. It was good.
Did you think it was tight? Kevin, I'm going to say this to you. Did you think it was tight? I mean, there was a lot of talking going on in the corner there.
Oh, look, I thought it was a close fight. I thought we had won. Joe came forward, he landed the bigger punches. Look, let's remember, at the press conference I said that I believe that Hughie Fury was the most awkward guy here in the UK, and there's a reason why he's undefeated, and there's a reason why people don't fight him. He's a very good boxer, but you can't win a fight if you're going backwards for 12 rounds. Joe was the aggressor, he landed the power punches. In fact, there were 2 or 3 times in the fight where he could have finished the night. But I think he got a little frustrated with Hughie's movement.
Were you getting a little frustrated there as well? Because there was a few calls that he was holding, Hughie was holding?
Well, I talked to Marcus, the referee, and I was a little annoyed that he let him hold as much as he did. I would have liked him to take a point off, because one thing that Hughie Fury does do really, really well is survive, and he's very good at wrapping and tying up. The only thing I was concerned about, he hit Joe in the back repeatedly, and also his head was getting very close to Joe's head. So they were concerns for me.
What have you learned? I mean, Joe, what have you learned? I mean, as you said, one of the most awkward fights you've ever had.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to take from this fight. Just got to keep moving. Working on things that I showed weakness in the ring today. But we did a lot of things good. I think we want to focus on the positives, focus on the win, celebrate with the team.
Are you happy with your fitness, Joe?
My fitness is good. We've got to win another 6-12 rounds. So.
Right, and the fast start that you won at Kevin, are you happy with that fast start?
I think actually Joe landed a couple of really good punches in the first round that set the scene for the fight. Hughie realised that he couldn't stand there with Joe. He had to move a lot if he was going to survive, and that's what he did. He moved non-stop for 12 rounds.
And what does this mean? A guy who hasn't fought for 2 years, you were looking for the knockout, that didn't come. What does that mean in terms of going forward?
Well, I'll tell you what it means. It means that we just came halfway across the world to Manchester. We fought an undefeated fighter who was 20-0, who was a world amateur champion, a fighter that other people do not want to fight, and we fought him in his backyard, and we beat him convincingly on 2 judges, and we had a draw on the other judge. So I think it's a pretty damn good performance. And what this does now is this sets the scene for us moving forward to doing business here in the UK.
Well, how do you think the fight will be received by the British critics?
I don't know, mate. I don't know how the British critics think. How's the fight been received by the New Zealand critics?
No, I mean, we're all happy, obviously. But you come here to make a mark. Do you feel like that performance has achieved that?
Look, there were a lot of people who thought that Hughie was going to outbox Joe. A lot of boxers. David Hay thought, he thought that Hughie would outbox us. Tyson said to me, I think, I really like Joe. He said, but Hughie's a very good boxer. People can't outbox Hughie. We won convincingly on two international judges' cards. So I think it yes, I think it has to be received very well.
Joe, Kevin talked about your maturity, that he felt that you'd really grown in the last 6 months, but it's another step up that you had to take after all the other fights that you've had. Do you feel that you've made that big jump in this fight?
I feel the jump was I haven't made that jump yet. I feel like I improved a lot from the last fight, but there's still a lot to work on. So I'm excited about the improvements that I've made, but I'm more excited about what's to come and what I can keep learning and improving on and getting better.
Joe, well done on your victory. 2 questions for you, but Hughie caught you with a few uppercuts as well.
Yeah.
Did he hurt you at all? And then obviously you caught him with some big shots. Was you surprised by his punch resistance?
He caught me with some shots coming in, so I just needed to work on my movement more. Like Kevin suggested, in between rounds, he didn't really hurt me. I don't think he's got good fast hands and he moves well, but I don't think he has a lot of power. I think I caught him with some good shots, and credit to him for dodging the other big shots that came his way.
Joe, it was feisty in the weigh-in. What was said after the match?
I just said, thanks for the great fight. We can do it again sometime in the future, but well done on coming in, putting on a great show. You're in your own backyard.
Public, well done.
Thank you.
David, you've got to move this sort of forward now. I mean, what's your summation of the performance, and how does that sort of position you going forward?
I think that everything was against us heading in, and Hughie was incredibly tricky. He moved very slickly on his feet for a man that size, and tucked his shoulder, and he wasn't looking for the knockout and moving back. It's hard to knock a guy like that out. So I'm just relieved we got the win. Like Kevin said, I thought it was close. I think I should pay credit to the British Boxing Board of Control, because I think they were pretty straight in this case, so credit where it's due. Next steps, it's exciting. If we taken a loss, it's back to the drawing board in some ways, but promotionally it's exciting. The world is our oyster now, because we have a voluntary, not a mandatory, which means instead of being forced into one fight, we can negotiate multiple deals at the same time and on our terms. And Kevin and I are looking at options as far afield as Japan. No Japanese heavyweight has ever fought sort of heavyweight world title in Tokyo. And there's, you know, our promotional partner Bob Arum in the United States with his new ESPN deal. So the world is our oyster, and Kevin and I have a lot of work analysing the next couple of weeks, and we'd like to get back in the ring again pretty quickly, maybe even before the end of the year.
Dillian White's already called Joe out on Twitter. Is he someone you look at fighting as a voluntary?
Oh, we look. It's all risk return. We look at everyone. Dillian White calls everyone out every week.
Joe, how are you going to celebrate tonight?
Firstly, going to do this drug test, get that out of the way, and then just relax with the team. You know, it's not just efforts from myself, it's efforts from all the team. And there's a lot of people that travel here to watch me fight and support me. You know, people from New Zealand, Vegas, Hong Kong. So we're going to get together as a team, celebrate and enjoy the night.
How did you feel to fight in front of a foreign crowd for a change?
It's exciting. It's exciting because it's something new. And you're gonna, you know, they're cheering for him, so you really want to make a big upset. So.
Joe, before you said you were interested in staying in London and basing yourself there. Any changes on that?
I meant basing myself here in terms of fighting more here, you know, because of the heavyweight scene. But we have a great setup in Vegas, so we're happy with. We've got our own gym. You know, I live back home in New Zealand where my family is, so I think I want to spend more time here fighting-wise.
So you had a big crack at Eddie Hearn during the week. Will you be giving him a ring now to try and jack up a fight?
Well, I didn't really have a crack. I just pointed out that he reneged on meeting the group, and that you know, it's a business, and he's been around a long time. I don't think he's going to delete my phone number. It's if the deal makes sense, the fight will happen.
So will you be calling him in the next couple of days?
We'll reach out, but you know, there's actually some other options. A lot of his guys that we look at are tied up towards the end of the year. So Kevin and I have some other exciting options that we're looking at.
Is that the Hay value fight? Does that kind of force you to maybe look further afield?
We have to look further afield, but further afield could be a better option than Value, and you know, we could then look at the winner of Hay Value in the new year.
How are your parents holding up, Joe? You put them through the ringer in that fight.
My parents are good. You know, they trust the work that Kevin and I have put into training camps, and they trust that we're well prepared. So whatever the result, they're happy with, as long as they know that we've worked hard leading to each fight.
Joe, are you going to stick around in the UK, or are you going to come back for the Pulev and Joshua fight as well?
I think I'm going to go home. I've been away from home for a long time now. I have to go see my daughter, see my family, see my friends, and maybe come back. But I think we need a bit of a break now. Enjoy some burgers and pizzas.
So when the 118, 110 scorecards were read out, you were shaking your head. What was going on?
You know, I knew that I did enough to win, and I knew that I won convincingly. But we're in Manchester, you know. Some of the scorecards in other fights sort of weren't sort of live up to what happened in the fight. So I thought it might have got taken away from us. But I was confident that I did the work in the ring, and I did enough to win.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Well done, guys.
Good man.
Dank.
Well done, Joe.
Sorry. Yeah, I'd give you a kiss, but no, it's not.
No.
A bit of a beat on that.
Sorry.